Hi guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Fall is among us, so let's get into this fall TBR. Now, so the purpose of this video, fall in my reading world is going to be September, October, and November. So these are like the foundation of what I'm feeling like now. Adjustments will be made. I don't plan on reading all of these books. These are just the books that are on my TBR. So let's start with some of the obvious ones. These are continuations of books that I read last holiday and what am I, British? Last fall, that I had already told myself that I was going to read when they came out in the fall again. The first thing that I want to point out is I will be reading Brimstone. This is part 2 to Quicksilver. Quicksilver was like a 4.5, 5-star read for me. And I've been anxiously waiting for this book. It actually comes out in November. So it will definitely be in my in my fall TBR, unless it comes out towards the end of November. And in that case, it may roll over into winter. But we're going to put it here just because it is the plan. Following in that same mindset, I plan on reading Encantra. This is book 2 to Phantasma. Phantasma was not this amazing read for me. It wasn't, but it was very good for Halloween. It is 100% a Halloween-esque book. So, and I think the only way that I would have even gave Phantasma the rating that I gave it is because I read it during the Halloween time. So I feel like I'm going to do the same thing with Encantra. I loved Crimson Moth, or what is it called in the United States? Oh, Heartless Hunter. It's called Heartless Hunter here. And then this is Rebel Witch. So I did enjoy reading Heartless Hunter, so I want to continue that with Rebel Witch. That'll be read this fall. 5-star read that I read last fall that I want to read now is the second book to Serpent and the Wings of Night, and that is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is book 2. So I'm going to go ahead and tap into this. These books are pretty aggressively long. I want to say this one is 614 pages, so it's going to be a longer read. I also have been holding on to Gothicana. I'm hoping to get this one read also within the fall TBR. I don't know what any of these pictures mean. I don't know much about this, but I'm interested to read it. Hopefully I can get the Audible and the ebook from the library. I have to remind myself to put myself on the list for all these books and just hope that it's not too late, because book 2 for this comes out soon and it's called Enigma. So if I'm going to get the second book, I need to make sure I even like the first. All right, and then a couple of books that were on my summer TBR are rolling over to my fall, and that's just because they actually probably should have been on the fall to begin with. The first one is Silver Elite. This was on my summer TBR. It is now rolling over to my fall TBR. The other one is Right Move. This is whatever. This isn't necessarily a summer or fall book, but it is romance. And I know sometimes with reading fantasy, which you tend to read a lot of fantasy if you read fantasy during this time, but if I want to break it up a bit, I wanted some regular contemporary romance. So I said, let me just bring over The Right Move, also to kind of break up the fantasy if I want to get out of that mood. I had the other contemporary that I have is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, again just to kind of break up from the fantasy if I'm feeling that way. Another thing that I tend to do if I'm reading a lot of fantasy and I need to kind of break it and get a fresh start before going into another one, is that I'll read a thriller. Thrillers are my main palette cleanser for anything. It just helps me move from genre to genre. So I put The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager on my TBR just in case I need that palette cleanser. The other one is Caught Up because this is a dark romance. So sometimes this can help me move out of fantasy and into other romance, or it'll keep me in that fall cozy feeling because it's dark. So yeah, we plan on finishing Caught Up. And let's see here. Another like palette cleanser, if you will, to break up from the fall books. If I need a break, I threw another thriller in there, and this was also on my summer TBR because again, I tend to throw thrillers and contemporary in on every TBR as well as urban, because those are books that will help break the monotony of any type of genre. If You Love Me by Kimberly Brown, this is contemporary as well. Then I have Insta Love by Danielle Allen. Then I have Beauty to His Beast, which is definitely more like fall, probably going to be closer to October because it's feeling more Halloweenish. And then, of course, The Hunting Wives, because the show was so good. This is just, if I just need something salacious, just something just to drop my draw, not my draws. My draws is gonna stay up. Drop my jaws. I know that I have The Hunting Wives. So I threw that on the list too. And then two books that I've heard a lot about that I felt just screamed fall is Kiss of the Basilic. I want to say this is dark romance, dark fantasy. So this one is very interesting. This one I probably am going to have more in the September month. I think I'm going to start out closer with this one. And then this right here is Beautiful Things. This is another one that I've heard a lot about. So yeah, I think that's really about it. I can't think of anything else. Oh yes, I don't have it with me right now, but I'm going to be reading Love's Most Wanted by Siobhan Latrice. And then, so wish me luck, guys. I didn't do too well for summer. I thought I was just going to have this massive amount of reading, but I really just spent the summer getting my freaking life together, okay? My life was in pure disarray, and I finally feel like I'm getting things more organized and things on track. I feel like my content is becoming more consistent now. So I just had to get myself together. So I didn't have much time for reading, but your girl has a very good schedule now. Things are churning out. Things are going the way they need to go.
Period, TT.
So your girl about to be reading like 15 books a month. And we ain't never gonna be that. We ain't gonna never be that. But again, my goal is like 5. 5 is so doable. It's such a good balance between like life, work, play, TV. Like 5. Like, get it together. But at the end of the day, if you can only get to 1 book a month, hey, that is fine. We do what we can do, okay? But that is all that I have for you guys. I am about to go ahead and build this little TBR cart and get to going. And I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to comment down below anything you think that I should add to the TBR, because it's still addable. It is still very much addable. And comment if you plan to read any of these. All right, guys. As always, love you, mean it. Bye. That's how we fall out.